Welcome, Mikey.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. For everyone listening, we are brothers. And, we bonded young over getting into podcasts. You were a big reason into why I got into some of the podcasts I did early days. But we've been listening to podcasts for, I don't even know, since late school, years, 15 years at this point.
2008,
Yeah.
maybe.
You convinced me Joe Rogan was worth a listen.
Mate, if it wasn't for the Joe Rogan, Dan Bilzerian interview, I wouldn't have found him that early.
Yeah. So, we both listen to a lot of podcasts in our time. We love them. So, hey, why the hell not do one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, what's taking you this long?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, look, I'm doing it now. And I brought you on because you do some interesting work. You're an electrician. And you do a lot of, and have done for a long time, F.I.F.O work.
Yeah, I got into it pretty much straight out of my apprenticeship. And yeah, look, it's taken me to some pretty rural places in Australia. A lot of places that I wouldn't have heard of if I didn't do this sort of work.
So talk a little bit about, so for one, you did your electrical trade, why you decided to do F.I.F.O, what the lifestyle's like. Just, run us through however you go from there.
Well, I decided I would have never done F.I.F.O if the company I did my apprenticeship with didn't go bust. Because I was pretty good there. I was in a good spot there, enjoying myself. But at the end of my apprenticeship, probably 3 months later, the company I was working for went bust. And we all got made redundant pretty much. And then we were lucky enough to get hired back by the company that took over the work we were doing. We were doing a high rise down the Gold Coast. But then they were like, oh, come Christmas, we'll give you guys full-time contracts. You're just casual for now, blah, blah. And then Christmas come and gone, never got a full-time contract. I knew someone out on a solar farm. So I called them up, got a start out there, spent 3 months up in Bundy doing a solar farm out in Childers. So it was about a 40-minute drive every day. Really enjoyed that one. Didn't know if they're going to keep me on, take me to the next one, get a call once that job comes to an end. Hey, do you want to go down to Never Tire? Now, Never Tire is a place down in central New South Wales where if you sneeze while you're driving through it, you'll probably miss it.
Tiny.
Oh, tiny is all it's got is a pub and about a population of 100 people.
Wow.
So it's got a pub, a solar farm, and 100 people. Good pub though, good pub.
Yeah, food's good, drink's good.
Yeah, the food was amazing for what you'd think you'd get out there. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing around, and you're having this amazing food. Every Friday night we'd go down there, everyone from the solar farm. They'd have a meat raffle, we'd take over the pool table, and a lot of backpackers. And I don't know if you've been around many British guys, but they love pool. They love to play pool. Okay. So no, that was good. Did that one. Then from there, went up to Middlemount, where Dad was. We were up there for a couple of months, and we went back to Never Tire. And then that's when COVID kicked off. In, early 2020, came back to Brisbane, had 5 weeks off, and then went down to Wellington in New South Wales. A lot of people don't know there's a Wellington, New South Wales, but there definitely is. Because when I say, I worked in Wellington, people go, oh, New Zealand? No, New South Wales. What? Yeah, it's sort of a town between Dubbo and Orange, and it's most famous for its prison.
Okay, yeah. Wellington prison.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, so, and the solar farm was directly across the road from that prison. Yeah. And look, you'd be looking at a few people on that solar farm going, did you just come from next door, mate? A couple of people there where, you thought they might have just come. So, was working there, and then that's the first time I got stuck in New South Wales. So that was 2020, probably around June, July, and I was stuck in New South Wales for 5 months. But oh boy, did we have some fun. That's a good thing about solar farms. You do solar farms, a lot of backpackers. Backpackers love to party. You didn't really work Sundays, so every Saturday night there was another party, and we were just having so much fun. And then at the end of that, came back to Brisbane, worked in Brisbane for a little bit and realised why I stopped working in Brisbane, because the money is no good doing domestic stuff in Brisbane. So
It doesn't compare with the money you're getting out there.
nah,
Is it just there's not enough? There's not as much work, or there is work? It's just a huge pay cut.
there's plenty of work. It's just doing the domestic stuff isn't as much. Like I'll be honest with you, I'd rather go do house bashing every day.
The work's better.
I prefer that work,
Yeah.
but the money's not there.
Yeah.
So I'll chase the money. And the way things are going, you need as much money as possible at the moment because there's no one's giving it. No one's giving it to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then once I finished that solar farm, did that work for a couple of months and got a call from a bloke down in Orange, New South Wales. And he said, "You want to come work on this mine?" I was a bit hesitant at first. And then another month went by, I called him back, says, "That job's still there." Went down there and been doing underground mining for 4 years. 4 years now? Yeah, 4 years.
Little while. So to backtrack a bit, let's talk a bit about like what you actually do when you go out to a solar farm. What does it entail? FIFO work on a solar farm. Like, is there a huge introductory period or safety program? Like, what is the go?
Oh, you go through your inductions. You do that on every site. Doesn't matter how long you've been in the game. You do inductions regardless. You could have been doing it for 50 years. You could have been doing it for 5 minutes. You go out there and solar farms can be boring depending on when you arrive to the job. Because the way solar farms work, if you arrive and this is what they need you to do, as an electrician, as anything, this is what they need you to do, you're doing that for the next 3-4 months. I got a bit lucky. In my first solar farm, I was doing this job, but we sort of finished it pretty quick because it was coming towards the end, that job. I came in right at the death of that job. And then you move on to something else and you're doing that. Clipping and looming is tying up the cables at the back of every solar panel. So you think there's 180,000 solar panels out there. Someone's got to go through and tie up all those cables, connect all those cables. So
it's the electrician doing it.
Yeah. So you can be stuck there for 3-6 months just clipping and looming cables.
How do you keep yourself sane while doing that? Because that is mind-numbing.
You wouldn't believe it, but podcasts.
Yeah, you're allowed to listen to stuff while you do it, so it's actually a little bit okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but I got pretty lucky. Went down to Nevertire, was on cable hauling, which is fun. Get out there, get a bit of fitness in.
Cable hauling, just what, dragging out cables?
Yeah, dragging out cables and pinning them up, moving on to the next one, drag out some more cables. And there I became a leading hand, sort of came a little bit off the tools a bit there. And, just kept going solar farm to solar farm, stayed in that leading hand role, then moved up to a supervisor role. I got to start all again when I went into mining.
Yeah, so you start from the very bottom.
Oh, yeah. I spent 2 weeks, my first swing at the mine, under a switch room that wouldn't be much higher than this table. Just cutting ties, putting ties back in, cutting more ties, pulling out cables under a switch room this big. And I'm not exactly a small fella.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you don't know anything until you prove that you know something.
Yeah, so they're going to just vet you out for a little bit, see who's actually a little bit more competent.
And that mine I started at in Orange, you have to do an electrical workers course. Even though you're a qualified electrician, you've still got to go do an electrical workers induction before you're actually allowed to do electrical work. So I had to wait a week or so before I did that, before I could actually do electrical work.
So is the work, like, is it stimulating in any regard then? Or is it you're having more novelty and more interest if you were doing something like back-based in Brisbane?
Oh, it's the work's the work. At the end of the day, we're pulling cables, terminating cables, putting in conduits. It's all similar work. It's just, I don't know, I enjoy doing the house process and it's a lot faster. Like I've been at this job I'm at now for 18 months and we're barely pulling cables, And I'm more in the commissioning space now. So turning stuff on, making sure it works right. And we've only really just started bringing stuff online now. And 18 months, most jobs are done in 18 months. In this underground game.
So this is gold mining?
Yeah, gold mining.
So, and you set up the Well, yeah. What's the electrician's role in gold mining? Setting up the lights so you can see the
No.
door?
So, well, I do the construction side. I don't really do the actual mining side. So what we're doing at the moment is putting in an underground crusher. So the way these mines work is they blow up rock and then they've got to get rock to the surface. So it can be processed, turned into a fine powder and sent off to be made into gold bars. What we do is we're putting the crusher in. So what they do is instead of the trucks having to drive from all the way to the bottom of the mine to the top to then take the gold out, which they're lucky if the truck drivers do 3 trips down and back in a 12-hour day. We put in a crusher underground. It crushes into smaller rocks. And then this one is the first one I've done with the shaft. It then goes on conveyors to a shaft and shoots up to the surface in a couple of minutes. So instead of that hours down and back, they're doing it in a couple of minutes now.
Is that a new thing? That seems like a much more efficient process.
It's a new thing for this mine.
It's just expensive to implement.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, it'd make you cry if you saw how much money they'd be spending. But yeah, no, they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Like Katie at the first one I started at, we put in the 3rd underground crusher there. Carrapateena, where I was just at, that was their 2nd underground crusher, and this one is their 1st. So,
are they big sites? Like, how many people are working on these?
Oh, you'd have easily 1,000 people underground.
Wow.
And like, it's hard to explain what it's like down there. People think you're stuck in a small cavern. You're not. It's like a little city down there. You drive and you come face to face with 40-ton trucks. Boggers are the scariest machine you'll ever see in the world. And one of them come towards you, you get out of his way real quick.
Yeah, it's just implied you're going to move for me because...
Well, the rule is down gives way to up. So if you're driving down, someone's driving up, you get out of their way. And small gives way to big.
Okay.
You get out of the big guy's way.
Yeah.
Let them get...
It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
There's only going to be one outcome if you decide, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this work, what have your swings been? Because I know swings are a big thing in F.I.F.O work. Like, people are craving the 1 week on, 1 week off, or whatever it is.
Oh, that'd be ideal. Don't tell my wife people are doing that. No, she knows. She knows. I'm trying to get on 2 and 2, but...
But like, what's your usual swing? Because I think a lot of yours have been pretty rough in terms of...
No, look, at the moment it's 2 weeks on, 1 week off, which is one of the better ones I've been on. I've done 3 weeks on, 1 week off. When I was doing solar farms, it wasn't really a swing. It's just I was doing like 6 weeks on, 1 week off at that stage. It really depends. But hey, the worst swing I ever did was when I was stuck in Orange for 5 months, and I did, 12 days on, 2 days off for 5 months straight on night shift. They're 12-hour shifts in the freezing cold of Orange.
How do you adjust, like, given that the schedule changes? I guess you get a bit of a period to get into it. Like, how do you adjust each time to each new swing? You find it a quick adjustment, or is it your body takes a little bit of time to get used to it?
I haven't really had to adjust because since I started mine, it's been 2 weeks on, 1 week off.
So recently, it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, for the past 4 years, it's pretty much been 2 weeks on, 1 week off, except for that year where I got married and Andy got married, where I did more 3 weekers and I think I did 2 weekers, but that was just to line up with things.
Yeah.
But you get used to it.
It doesn't take long?
Yeah, it's like come here at this time when I'm at work, I'd be in bed.
Yeah.
Because, now that I moved into a superintendent's role, my work day starts at 5 a.m, doesn't finish till 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm home, showered, eat dinner, talk to Michaela, bed. That's pretty much my routine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, people think FIFO work, you'd go do it a few years. It's maybe intense because you're not seeing your family, but it's just better money. But the hours you actually have to work, it's like you're kind of making up for the money by working just a ton of hours because you've got nothing else to do. You're there 12-hour days and whatnot most of the time. Right?
Oh yeah, you're working for your money, but there's nothing else to do out there. Like right now, I'm in the middle of Northern Territory. Closest town away from us is 7 hours, and that's Alice Springs. So you got nothing else to do. They've got gyms and stuff out there. It depends where you are. Some have a swimming pool and stuff like that, but not the one I'm at. Is we got a gym, you got a mess. You don't have to cook your own food, which is nice. You don't really want to be doing that after 13 and a half hours. But yeah, Yeah, depending where you go. I see these new mining resorts. They look good.
Well, like a little resort. For
Yeah, but
little hotel.
yeah, we don't get that. We got a donger. You got a bed. You got a bathroom. You got a fridge. Yeah, look, you can't complain. It's easy enough, and you're making good money doing it.
Yeah, and food's catered. It's all taken care of.
The food's not the best, but they've got to cater for 400 people. What do you expect? You're not getting the chef's meal every night. Like, some nights are better than others. Yeah, sometimes you go in there, this dinner was crap. Other nights you go, wow, that was amazing. Like, and people can still complain, oh, the food out here is terrible. Is it? Oh, they're out of bananas. I've never seen you eat a piece of fruit in your life, mate. What are you talking about? They're out of bananas. Why are you whinging about that?
I just want it now because it's not available to me.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and look, you're getting a good routine out there. Routine's everything out there.
I think you'd have to. Like, you'd have no choice. You just literally work, go home, sleep, work.
I wish our routine included the gym a bit more than it does, but that's all right. I've worked out how to lose the weight, just calories in versus calories out.
It is the main thing, but I mean, it's also good to actually work out too. Yeah. Do you find it hard working out at nights? Is that the problem?
No, I prefer
mornings are easier. Or?
No, I prefer to work out at nights. I'm a terrible morning person.
Just generally speaking, these 5 a.m. starts for your supervisor are rough.
Look,
you can get into it for work. It's fine.
I do it for work, but I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock to go to the gym.
Yeah.
4 o'clock and having a shower and going to work, I'll do. But 3 o'clock to go to the gym, no thanks. I'll take that hour sleep.
So you prefer nights? I've found when I got into a good routine, like the mornings, I'm much more capable of utilizing a morning to get a routine started.
Really? After all those years of us wrecking our bodies, staying up till 3, 4 a.m. watching soccer.
Yeah, you knew me at home. I never woke up early. I don't think our family's an early rising family at all.
We can blame Mum all we want for us always being late to school, but it wasn't just her. We weren't getting out of bed either.
No one was waking up on time.
Yeah.
It's funny, Dad's the only one I know of. Dad's the morning person.
That's what I thought by doing the apprenticeship, that I'd become a morning person. No, that didn't help.
Yeah, well, you can't actually change your default optimal sleep pattern. There are these things, I got this from, his name's Matthew Walker, neuroscientist specialized in sleep, talking to Andrew Huberman. There are these things called sleep phenotypes. So each person has a phenotype, which is where this is the time where you sleep, where you're optimized. So if you sleep in this window, you're optimized or you get the best quality of sleep if you were to do this consistently. So there are people where theirs is like 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's their sleep window. But there are, on the other end of the spectrum, there's people who are optimized if they go to bed at 2 a.m., wake up at 10 a.m. And you can change your pattern and get to a decent level. But if you were to completely optimize your sleep, you would fall into one of them.
Can I go do this study and then take that to my boss?
Yeah, well...
Do you reckon he'll listen?
No, I don't think any boss would listen because you're good enough without it. Yeah. But it's just if you want the absolute optimized, you recognize which one you are. And if you can adapt your life around it, very difficult unless you have a very specific kind of job.
Yeah, look, even when I've done the night shifts, I seem to handle them a bit better than everyone else. But again, we used to stay up stupid hours on weekends. I do it now when the Formula One's on. I'll stay up and
watch. Football. Well, it's football then. It's Formula One now.
Yeah. I mean, I say I'll stay up. I'll stay up, watch the race start, nod off, wake up in the morning and rewatch it. But yeah,
that's probably right because you're good till about 2 o'clock and then you just dip out. Yeah, it's funny. But there's a reason for those sleep. It's so funny because obviously we've evolved a certain way to have these sleep pads, and it's beneficial to, if you're in these small packs and when we were like evolving as early humans, to have someone who's awake at basically every time possible.
We must have been getting night watch in our
that's
ancestors.
Well, I think I'm not as bad as you then because I feel like I'm great going to bed at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's like a great default now. I've like settled into, if I'm asleep by 10, like that's when I'll naturally fall asleep and I'll wake up if I can like 6, 7. That's probably perfect. Yeah. But I was pushing those limits as a kid. We were just pushing them. We were up stupid hours.
Oh, I'm terrible when I come home.
I suppose you can still do it.
Well, I go to sleep.
I really struggle going to bed after like 12 o'clock now.
Yeah, I go to sleep at 8 p.m. at work, and then when I'm home, I'm up until about midnight at least every night. And then I go back to work and go back to my 8 p.m. sleep time.
That's so straight. You're able to just switch it. It's part of it. You just don't want to go to sleep because you're like, well, I got the time now.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do something I want to do instead of sleeping.
Yeah, I think it's got a bit to do with that because, I do have the freedom for that week off to do whatever I want to do. But, Michaela, my wife, is usually asleep and I'm just sitting there either watching a movie or sometimes building a Lego.
Yeah. Quite a Lego collection you have.
Yeah.
So, did that become I don't remember you doing this much as a kid. It became a bit of an obsession with the F.I.F.O work coming back. You have I like this. Pretty cool.
Oh, I don't know if it was that. Maybe it's when they started bringing out the big Formula One cars.
So Formula One's at the root of it.
Yeah. I did actually build one. There wasn't a Formula One car. Before the Formula One cars came out during COVID, when I had to lock down for a week because I caught it, I did buy one from Big W. And look, I'll build a Lego. Bought the big Land Rover, built that, and then this YouTube guy I follow, his name's Lelujo, but that's his real name. But yeah,
that's his.
I found him by watching by watching Football Manager, watching him play Football Manager on YouTube. And yeah, he sort of got into Lego as I was getting into Lego, and it just sort of became a
thing, just like a cool hobby thing to collect.
Yeah.
What triggered the Formula One interest? Because we didn't watch it at all.
Drive to Survive
Sparked it, yeah.
Yeah, once you learn the ins and outs, and then you know how we are. When we get into something, we get into something.
Yes. That's a trait.
I'd watched Drive to Survive, and then the new season was about to start, and I was like, you know what? I'll listen to a couple of podcasts. There was one starting out then, the Red Flags, and they were funny. They were bringing jokiness to it, and, just got into that. Now listen to 3 or 4 Formula One podcasts a week, a couple of MotoGP podcasts a week. Yeah, so just Drive to Survive started it, and it gets a lot of flack, but it's still my guilty pleasure. Every season before the season starts, I love to watch it. Even though a lot of it, they're making it up. Yeah. It's still a TV show. You got to understand that. They need to create some drama. But it's my guilty pleasure, I will say that.
Yeah, it's funny because that's the exact same trajectory I had when I got out of school and got into NFL.
Yeah.
I watched, it wasn't I think it was Hard Knocks. No, it might have been a Hard Knocks, which is essentially pre-Drive to Survive, what the NFL would do. And then same trajectory, start watching some, listen to 2 or 3 podcasts on it. It's an obsession for 5 years. I was probably into it fully, every season, watching almost every game, at least a 60-minute, the condensed version of every single game. Yeah. For 3-4 years.
I mean, that's all you need. There's a 60-minute condensed version. The rest of it's just ads.
It's ridiculous how much is ads. I think I watched the first whole season on their NFL Game Pass, where it was all just the plays.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Super Bowl that year, and I'm like, oh my God, this...
Yeah, but
it actually takes 4 hours.
Have you ever watched any NBA games?
Yeah.
They're all ads.
Same thing.
Baseball, I watched a game or 2 of the World Series last year. Ads. It's all American sports. I'm watching hockey, but...
That's why they're worth so much. Yeah. Because the whole game is based around the ads.
It's worth stupid money. But yeah, well, look at the Formula One. It's just one big advertisement. Yeah. You drive around here, there's Rolex there, there's Louis Vuitton over here. But it's good to watch. I enjoy it.
I wonder how much those companies are benefiting from the huge influx of people getting into Formula One. Because I imagine most people, though, who are getting into it now from Drive to Survive, are not necessarily Rolex, Louis Vuitton people. It's kind of just broadened the scope of who's interested.
Yeah, well, they were struggling years ago. That's why Red Bull's got 2 teams. They have 2 teams because they couldn't find someone to take that other team. So Formula One approached Red Bull and said, hey, do you guys want to start a second team? And now there's been an American team, Andretti Racing, who are big in all the American sports, trying to get in for years, and they will not let them in. And a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they couldn't find a 10th team. So
just huge uproar.
Yeah. And now they're all worth stupid money. And they can probably put that down to Drive to Survive. The hardcore fans will hate that, but, you know.
But like, yeah, once you get in front of more people, and Netflix seems to do that so well.
Oh, just getting the eyes on the sport.
Yeah, it is a compelling series. Like, I understand a lot of it. Or how much do they cut it so these interactions seem like these people actually hate each other.
If you watch every race, you'll see it. Because they'll be using a clip from another race but putting it into this race to think he was saying that about him this race, but he wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, see, I haven't been that much. They're doing that.
They're creating a story. It's their job. They got to create a story. They got to get eyes on it.
It's a narrative structure that gets the people engaged. Yeah, so you've been into Formula One for a few years too, and that got you into the Lego.
Yeah.
Now do you have quite a bit?
Oh, a bit more than I wish to admit. Yeah, I probably got I think, what was the last tally I did? Probably about $8,000 worth.
Any of them like staying in the box holding for investment? No. You just enjoy it.
I'll buy them to build them.
Yeah.
It's cathartic. It helps calm me down. I'm not exactly the most calm person at times. So.
Yeah. You're a lot calmer now than I remember as a kid. There was a little bit more aggression going around back then.
But now it's just the odd outbursts here and there. A couple of injuries I've given myself from just getting angry.
Well, yeah, I remember when we used to play FIFA. And
it was a couple
Xbox days. Yeah, there was a couple of controls that got broken, a couple of legs that got hit.
mainly my leg. Let's just
I was never assaulted.
It was a bit of self harm, not harming others. It was my own leg I'd punch, and a couple of chairs I broke, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, I think I got to a point where I would like get angry at myself playing FIFA. I was probably around the time I stopped too. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, but that probably came from us watching those YouTubers as well. Remember KSI back in the day?
Yeah.
But they had the money to do it. We didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah, they could break everything. That's why I don't think I ever broke a controller, because I knew that I just have to get another one. It's probably going to be weeks depending on what's going on.
Yeah. I still every year buy FIFA, play it for probably one R&R, and then come back the next R&R and have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. I don't know. Time's an issue when it comes to that kind of. Like you said, we fully invest in things if we do it. So I'm not going to touch an Xbox. I don't think ever again, because I don't have the time to just commit to it.
Yeah.
Nor the want.
Yeah, I get into things. I get in trouble for getting into things. Michaela gets up at me for, you're into a new thing now? Oh, you're going to do this for a month and then stop it? I was like, whoa.
That's so funny, because I cop the same criticism of people at work. It's the same thing. It's just like hobby switching.
Yeah.
But like, in my head, you find something you're interested in, you obsess on it for a while, and then you figure out if it's going to stick around for a long time or if you just liked it for then. But whatever, like,
that's good to learn the new skill.
What's the harm? Yeah, what's the harm in getting into something intensely for a period and figuring out if you want that to be a long-term thing?
As long as you keep them at a reasonable price. You know?
Oh yeah. Maybe you're a little bit more splurgy than me, but I mean, even the podcast, you could drop a little bit of money just trying to set this up.
Oh yeah.
Like, fortunately, I had some equipment set up already, like using your phones for recording and stuff.
Yeah, which is good.
Don't chuck out your phones. You never know when they're going to come in handy.
Yeah, I'm bad for that too. Buy a new phone, either sell or trade in the old phone.
Oh, you do trade them in?
Yeah.
Is it even worth? I feel like half the time, I don't know, I'm like,
that's probably not worth it.
There's sockets that are just in need of repair.
Actually, what I did with my last phone was I took it to Apple and used it to get money off buying a laptop. So maybe I'll do that with this one.
Yeah.
Get myself an iPad for the plane.
Why don't you start reading some books?
Reading books.
I did give you a book back in the day, a Jocko Willink book.
Right, and I already had a copy of that book too.
Wow, you never told me.
I didn't want to
exchange it for the next one.
I already have that one as well.
No.
I do like me some Jocko Willink.
So you've read those ones?
Yeah. I own those ones. I don't know if I go as far as say I read them.
Have you delved into audiobooks at all, or you're just mainly podcast? Because now Spotify's got it. It's pretty accessible. Like, you don't
are there audiobooks on Spotify now?
You don't have to download Audible anymore.
Yeah. I might look at it.
Because, like, it's a different experience. You do have to focus a little bit more on most audiobooks.
Yeah, but some of the podcasts I listen to too are like audiobooks.
Like just dense.
Like, what is it? Hardcore History with Dan
Carlin. Yeah.
I've listened to his free ones, and then I've bought Wrath of the Khans. And they're sort of like an audiobook, similar. You're learning about history and Might Have Made, Daryl Cooper. He did a 6-episode thing on Israel, and I go probably listen to that. It's like 20 hours worth of podcasts. I go back and listen to that probably every 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I just enjoy the way he speaks.
He's good at telling the story. Because I listened to Dan Carlin years ago. He was one of the early podcasts I listened to.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all his like war history content.
I love that war stuff.
There was one Painfotainment. I don't know if you remember this. It was like a 5-hour podcast, 4 or 5 hour podcast about the history of I don't know if it was the history of violence in a way.
No, I don't know if I listen to it.
It's very like...
I listened to his one on World War II about the Japanese.
Yeah.
And I've listened to his one about, I think it was slavery. Slavery in the US.
Because it was every few months he would release one because he's obviously putting so much work into producing each of them. They were really good. It was really good. What's the Wrath of the Khans?
That's the one Joe Rogan talks about all the time.
Is it Genghis Khan?
Yeah, Genghis Khan. Sorry, Genghis.
Genghis, yes. Get it correct.
Yeah.
This is just about the history of him.
Yeah, it's about Genghis and what he did and all the murdering and
There's a little bit of that.
I think a thing that led me back to that. Well, led me to that was Joe Rogan, but now I work with a Mongolian bloke, so.
Is he like well versed in the history of it? Or
I think they all are
interested.
Yeah. But yeah, he's over here as an engineer and trying to make it in Australia.
Yeah. Engineer over here.
Yeah.
Does he struggle to find engineering work, or he's all right? He's on the mark as an engineer.
He's now got a visa from my company, I believe. So him and his wife came over here with their kids, moved over from Mongolia at the end of last year, and yeah, he just was looking for a job, got a job with us, and then asked if they could sponsor him, and yeah.
Yeah. Obviously good at what he does.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Look, there's a language barrier, but you know, we're good at speaking broken English.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's fine. If you can do the work, engineer, you know, you can make it work.
Yeah. It's just sometimes you got to explain a bit more. But hey, if I went over to Mongolia and they started speaking to me in their language, I'd be stuffed.
Yeah, I think we have to appreciate how.
We are so arrogant.
Yeah.
When people come here, we expect them to speak English, and when we go to their country, we expect them to speak English.
Yeah. And a lot of them do. They've like accepted that we just.
Well, when we went to Europe, everyone spoke English over there, and we're Greeks in Australia, and we couldn't speak a word of Greek to them.
Yeah, Polylogo Hellenica. I can't speak much Greek. That's all we knew how to say.
That's all we know.
Or Yasu, hello. Yeah. Isn't that funny? But like the immigrant mentality, the people who leave their country, go somewhere else seeking a better life, and they can't even speak the language.
Yeah,
that's the next level on top.
That's sort of what our grandparents did. Except Buffalo spoke a few languages.
Yes, but like still, like going to a country you're not familiar with.
Yeah,
like you need people like that. I feel like I don't know. There are less of them now. It seems like people from our country struggle to do it as much because it's so good living here.
Yeah,
anyway.
why would you want to leave Australia?
Unless you're just seeking novelty, you're seeking something.
Yeah, where are you going to go live?
I've thought about this. Like the only other place I've entertained is like America.
Yeah, but even then, would you want to live in America?
Well, not more than Australia. No,
would you want to bring up your kids in America?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be all right. I don't mind some of the values there.
Not that, more the gun violence and you know how many school shootings you hear about over here.
Well, yeah, next to none, which is none. Yeah. No, I don't. I tend not to worry as much about those things, just given the likelihood of even the likelihood of that happening is so low.
Mind you,
it's so low.
I've seen the house prices in the US.
Fantastic.
I know.
You can get certain what's it called states. You can get very nice properties for very cheap.
Well, where Michaela's sister lives in New Mexico. It's cheap as chips to buy a house there. Yeah. It's only a couple of $100,000.
But that's like decent property too. It's not
It's not a shoebox like you buy here for $1 million. Yeah. Because the house price. Because we're looking to buy the next 12 months, and it's just.
Yeah, slim pickings. You got to go further away from the city.
We'll be in Logan for sure.
Yeah, you just got to go further away from the city, but.
Yeah.
for like what you do and what Michaela does, I'm guessing it's not too big a deal anyway. It's not like you're needing the city that desperately.
And because I've got a trade behind me, we don't mind doing a few renos, you know. Buy a shittier house with a bit more land, do it up. Fuck it.
Everyone I know who buys a house, that's like the first week they get into it, they're just doing renos.
Yeah.
Every single person is like, well, why delay it? Let's just get into it.
Yeah. I mean, I just bought tools with the promise that I'll do renos when we buy a house, so better keep up my end of the bargain.
You need them for work. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're looking for a house with a bit of land.
Yeah.
A bit of lands. But yeah, again, you just have to go further out in the city. I think in Brisbane we're just spoiled. Because you got like Sydney and Melbourne. They've been paying stupid money for close to the city for a while.
Yeah, I know, but all those bastards came up here during COVID
Yeah,
because we weren't getting locked down.
Drove our price up. But like they've been used to commuting probably an hour plus to get to work if they worked in the city. Us driving 15 minutes to work, it's a big deal.
Yeah, but our infrastructure's not there for it. Have
It's
you
a
ever
little bit
tried to go
different.
in the city at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, terrible.
Yeah, wow.
But Sydney traffic, I don't think is very good either. Like Sydney's even more off. It's just more people trying to go into some.
No, I mean, I got into the airport there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and tried to drive out to where Michaela's extended family live, and we were stuck in traffic for like 2 hours.
2 in the afternoon.
At 2 in the afternoon. I was like, you are shitting me.
Is that weekday traffic? 2 o'clock. That is.
Yeah,
But that's what I mean. Even in
all it
Sydney.
takes is one crash, and everything's fucked.
Yeah, but this is what I mean in Sydney. Like they've been driving. They do long commutes to work, and in order to afford houses that are at the level of what we're now complaining about.
Yeah,
I just think we've just been lucky. We've been privileged.
Been lucky, or you just buy out of one of the 5 major cities that people want to live in.
Yeah. You do remote work. Like I said, you get away with F.I.F.O. You just have to get to the airport every now and then.
All the families here.
Yeah. But again, we're privileged because a lot of people had to commute to see family. Like, I wonder how many people.
Yeah, because where we're looking is sort of going to be halfway between our family and Michaela's family down the Gold Coast. So.
A halfway point in between.
Yeah. But have you tried to drive down the Gold Coast on a Friday afternoon recently?
Yeah, same thing. Even coming here, like where the junction is from getting off that gateway onto the motorway.
Yeah,
like, you get there the wrong time of the afternoon.
It's painful. I've only got a week. I don't have time for traffic.
Yeah. That's one thing I want to ask you about. When you're back, do you feel like you have to utilise every day? Like you're doing something every day? You're not just sitting back relaxing? Or
9 times out of 10, I'm doing something every day.
Yeah. Is it like, I need to catch up with people? There are things I've been wanting to do to come back. It's just like you've got a list.
Yeah.
You're because I know Dad doesn't stop. I imagine you're the same. It's just go to second.
There's something on every day. If I don't do something in a day, I feel like I've wasted a day. If I just sit at home all day, I'll feel like I've wasted a day at home.
Was it the same before the FIFO work, or was it until then that you started to appreciate like the time?
I was always out.
Yeah, you were always out.
I've never sat around at home just doing nothing. That'll do my fucking head in.
Yeah. Why are you worried about little internal thoughts that go on if you sit?
Yeah, you don't want to know what's up there. Can't be good.
That is actually a big point of difference for us when we were growing up. Like I was at home all the time. You were always out.
Yeah, but I got mad FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm worried I'm going to miss out on something if I just stay at home.
I had zero FOMO, which I don't think is good either. Both to extreme degrees are not ideal. But now I think I've worked it out a little bit.
Yeah, but you've got more of a reason to stay home. You got your kids here.
Well, I stay home less now. I'm way more productive than when I was 17 to 25. I was like stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't jumpstart me. I was just
you did enjoy it. You were a bit of a homebody. I just had too many activities to go do.
Yeah, you were the social one of us.
Social-ish. Social with about 4 or 5 people.
Yeah. You'd go out and hang out and do things.
Yeah. But yeah, growing up, running out of time.
I don't think you can say that at like 32. I think you still got.
You've
There's
only got
still
so
plenty of
much time on this planet.
But there's still plenty of time. Like, do you worry about getting old already? Like,
Getting old, I'm already old. Knees are creaking, back's hurting. Nah. No, look, I don't see a time when I'd ever retire.
yeah. Do you think you'd get bored? I feel like I would get bored.
Have you seen a retired person? I think they look fucking bored.
Unless they have a really good hobby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it just looks boring, just stopping.
Well, yeah, I feel like there is something about when you stop, like you're just like accelerating to your grave.
Oh,
like
it's not good for you.
You can't just stop. You have to keep your brain sharp. You got to be doing something.
Well, look at you,
Something stimulating. Yeah.
Look how active they are. They still drive, and they both still drive. Not far, but they still drive because they kept going.
In their 80s.
They always had their garden. They always had their this to do. They're always busy. Other old people, the ones that stop, the ones that just sit in front of the TV all day, do nothing, they're the ones that their mind starts to go.
Starts to, atrophy, degenerate a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Like if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah. It's like every other muscle. You got to work it out.
Yeah. Because it's people. I think there is people live for like the stopping. They are working so hard so they can one day relax and stop. But I feel like you think you want that until you actually get it, and then you realize once you've stopped, like, oh, I need to do something.
I hope I'm not the other way around where I just keep going and then I'll finally stop and go, oh,
this
is great. Why didn't I do this years ago?
No, I don't think you will. I think it's like, say if you went on a holiday, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I feel like you'd start to think like, well, hey, what the hell am I doing? Why am I still sitting here doing nothing? I would feel 5, 6. You would start to feel so unproductive.
Oh, I asked about my trip to Singapore. I was in the bad books after that one. We were doing about 20,000 steps a day, walking for a week straight, 20,000 steps a day. I was not on the good books when we came home.
You were doing things.
Yeah, well, you had too much to see. We only had a week there. I had to see everything, go do everything.
But so these people, I feel like if you, like the craving the long holiday where you just sit on a beach and do nothing.
Oh,
like the picture
terrible.
of people have in their head of retiring.
Ugh.
I do think it's
sitting on a beach doing nothing.
Yeah,
that's the worst holiday ever
relaxing.
to me. Relaxing, gross.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just in our it's ingrained in us. I feel like Bapul's the same. Bapul, like you said, always moving around, always doing something. He would enjoy what's called a camping trip or something like that. But that's a few days of just out in amongst.
Yeah, but you're doing stuff when you're camping. You're always doing. You're getting the fire ready. You're getting the food ready. You're probably going. When you used to go camping at Somerset, you'd be out on the boat during the day,
It's very active.
Putting the yabby nets out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like he was just sitting around. Yeah, he'd sit around for an hour or two, but the rest of the day he was doing stuff.
Yeah. Actually, you have to work hard to earn your relaxing when you're out camping because you're actually creating all the things you're eating.
You got the setup, the pack up, everything. But who wants to go camping?
I've like a craving for it a bit now. I hated it growing up. I never liked it.
To go camping?
What, something like you're just being immersed in nature.
Yeah.
But like primally. Like...
What, you want to go out there with a knife and I don't know...
No, I want to go there with a bow and arrow and I want to...
bow and arrow and a lighter and see how long you can last.
No, I think it's more like a craving to get out there and just do away with all the distractions.
Yeah, I'll get out there, but I might take a van.
Take a van to the spot where the forest starts, and then you venture it, you know?
No. You got to sleep in the van.
No, you sleep under the stars. You got a flag out.
I see the stars every night. I work in the middle of nowhere. I have no light pollution where I am.
Does it look different when you look up? Does the sky look different?
Oh, yeah, there's so many more stars out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's been literally years since I've actually got out and gone to like even a dare, but out in the middle of nowhere, it's a different sky you look up.
Yeah. Yeah, you see way more. But like, you don't have the light pollution. You have a little bit from the camp you're staying in, but not that much.
No, not the dense one from the city.
Yeah.
overflows and every street light being lit. Do you think we're missing something as people not being able to look up and see the stars?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy about that.
Trying to get philosophical, like.
I might be Greek, but I'm not philosophical.
You're not Socrates in disguise.
No, unfortunately not.
You don't ever get, like, when you're out there, you just get caught looking up, or not so much.
I don't have enough time to stop.
Yeah,
I'm on a strict routine.
Yeah, strict routine.
I'm home, shower, dinner, call, bed.
Is there anything to do where you are now, or is not even like a pub?
Oh no, there's a pub. There's a pub. So, but I try not to drink too much while I'm at work. So, and you can only have 4 beers a night anyway.
They cap you.
Yeah.
Oh, so the pub is on site.
Yeah, it's on site. You're only allowed 4 mid-strength beers a night.
That's still a lot. So every night you could have 4 if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But the last one I was at was 6. And when I was in Orange, you weren't staying in a camp, you were staying in town. So you go to the pub and have as many as you want.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes a aptitude test, not a breath on in the morning. Yeah. If you're smart enough not to blow numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only really go down. So we do, well, not me, but the guys working for us do a week of days, a week of nights. Mm-hmm. So you have that changeover day. So I'll go down on a Wednesday night because they all change over on the Thursday. I'll go down Wednesday night, have a beer with the boys, have a chat, have a laugh. But really, it's only Wednesday nights I go down.
Do you find there's a lot of people who do the FIFO work that you've seen that they make the money, they blow the money? Like, is it a strong culture of that?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
It's called the golden handcuffs. Because once you start getting more money, you start buying nicer things.
Yeah, and they're not able to rein that in.
Well, if you want to come back and earn half what you're earning, you're going to be able to buy half the stuff.
Yeah. So the people aren't used to having that kind of money probably. They start getting a little bit... It's just a little bit more difficult to maintain.
I think it's just harder to go from, say, 200 grand a year to 100 grand a year. It's harder to...
I mean, but the other way around, when you start going 1 to 2, so you start doing the FIFO work, you're now earning more money, but you don't seem to be saving it. Like, is it just...
Oh, is it just tough? A lot of guys out there do have savings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they just, they own a house now, want to buy an investment property.
Yeah.
They just want newer things. Like, I want to get my stock portfolio up. So, like, a lot of these guys will probably retire at an earlier age. But they'll work for it. They'll stay in FIFO for 20 years, but at the end of that 20 years, they can retire while their friends still have to go to work every day. So a lot of them, don't get me wrong, there are guys that blow their money. They'll come home, do drugs for the whole week, get clean, start getting clean the last couple of days, go back out to work, make more money, come do the same thing.
Are they the rare case? Because in my head, it's flipped. In my head, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just what I've heard, but obviously not very reliable information, that's the more common. Or is it's more sensible or just people living more normal lives?
You get a bit of both.
Yeah.
And it really depends on the trade. Like, I could be wrong, but you don't seem to get a lot of electricians doing that. You get the odd one here and there, but the concreter is a bit more wild,
It's a lot more heavy, intensive work.
It is a lot more.
Grinding, so it's a little more...
So, yeah, it depends on the individual. But there's guys that have been doing it for years. They have 2 or 3 houses worth millions and millions of dollars, but they're still got to pay off those houses. They're still got to... And then they might want another one. And, they're just trying to build up their wealth. Yeah.
It's a good opportunity to do that.
And what you're putting your body through to build up the wealth, because working in dusty environments every day.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine that there is a huge trade-off the longer you do it.
Yeah.
You notice that obviously more in the mining sector than in the solar farms?
Yeah, for sure. Solar farms, you're outdoors, fresh air every day.
What's the air like in the mines? I didn't ask you.
You're underground. So
is it really dusty. Weird? Yeah.
It is dusty. It's dark and dusty. They do monitoring. They check for silica and stuff, but the mine does that. We don't do that, so you're taking their word for it.
Yeah.
But no one's going to stop you from wearing a mask every day if you want to wear a mask. Me personally, I don't, because they annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So, but there are guys that will spend 12 hours a day in that mask.
Yeah, they just...
And then some mines, it's mandatory to wear a mask the whole shift. So I went to one in Prominent Hill, which is in South Australia, and underground work, mandatory 12 hours a day in a mask. Only time you can take it off is to eat.
Was the quality of the air any different there, or that was just the posture of that mine?
There was high silica in the air down there.
So it was more of a necessary thing there.
Yeah.
And the silica, what's the silica do? Does it just get into your lungs?
Gets into your lungs and touches. But they sent us for chest x-rays to make sure, to see what your baseline is and to see if it progressively gets worse.
So if there's a level that gets to where they start to go like, no, that's too bad. Like, you need to stop, or...
Yeah.
Will they take people out of work if it gets too high, or they'll just strongly encourage that they wear it?
So they wear monitors and you go to certain areas, and then it will become, if they test it and the silica's high, mandatory mask area. So when I was at Carapatina, there were transfer stations. So TCHO3, which is transfer chamber 3, no mask. Transfer chamber 4, no mask. Transfer chamber 5, you in that area, mandatory mask. Just because the silica was so high.
Yeah. So silica, what's it come from? Like, what is it?
From rocks.
It's just extracted from dusty rocks.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like that they're doing that's causing the silica.
There's nothing they do to really stop it. It's once you break the rocks release the silica and you can breathe it in.
It's just what they've recognised as being the detrimental thing for you.
But I'm no scientist, so don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But
yeah,
that's my understanding of silica.
Yeah, I mean, they would obviously give you some. They would tell you why. Hey, the silica's
bad. Yeah.
It's in the inductions or whatever.
You'll get lung diseases and stuff like that. Again, it's like everything. Silica wasn't a thing when I first started my apprenticeship. I used to cut concrete, no mask, no nothing.
Oh, so it's very new that they started.
In the last 10 years, it started becoming a thing. That's why you see a lot of grinders and stuff now have, or hammer drills now have vacuum attachments, because you shouldn't be breathing. If you're cutting concrete or even cutting gyprock, you shouldn't be getting cut. I used to come out of here looking like Pablo Escobar. Yeah. I'd be cutting out lights and I'd come out just covered in gyprock dust.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it was done.
Yeah, they didn't know.
No one knew.
If they did know, they didn't think it was an issue.
Like back in the day, they didn't know about asbestos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until they do the research and they start seeing people get diseases. Oh shit, this is causing an issue.
It's wild that like you just have to. Oh wait, all these people doing this job started to get sick of this thing around this time.
With asbestos, it wasn't just people doing the job; it was people living near the factories.
Yeah.
There were kids playing it. Like there's a pretty famous picture of these two kids playing in asbestos. I don't know, cut-offs or rubbish, and they both, when they got older, developed diseases.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what diseases, but yeah, it killed them.
Yeah. Asbestos, well, we all know asbestos.
Yeah.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
You need a license to work with it, all that kind of jazz.
You need a license to remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know, maybe for large amounts, because I've worked around asbestos, because, when we used to go into old houses, put lights or...
navigating it.
Yeah, you'd have to cut out and you'd have a procedure to go through to cut it out. Wet down the surface, full kit up. I'd wear a sperm suit and a dust mask with the proper filters in it. And then, make sure you wash everything and chuck everything into the special asbestos bag. And you couldn't throw that away at the normal dump or in a normal rubbish bin. You had to go to a asbestos removal place. And yeah.
Do you know what they do with it there?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. Are they like putting it in some kind of acid or some kind of chemical to break it down?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think burning it's a good idea.
No,
I'd say that's probably a terrible idea.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, they figure out these ways to work around these things.
It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt.
Yeah. Until a lot of people get hurt, then you do something about it.
Yeah.
So what you work as now is supervisor role.
A superintendent, yeah.
Superintendent. How have you found the transition from being like an employee to now someone who's in a leadership role?
That shit is. It's boring as.
Really?
I'd rather be out there on the tools.
Instead of delegating jobs to people.
Yeah, they get to do all the fun stuff now. I get to plan the fun stuff for them.
How have you found managing people though?
Yeah, it's all right. You try and stay ahead of them. If they ask you questions, make sure you get back to them with an answer. You know, not everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes you ask you a question you don't know the answer to, but make sure you come back to them with an answer eventually. But yeah, no, it's good. I like it. I do like running a team, but I really did enjoy commissioning when I was doing it. And look, I'm probably a bit before my time. Like when I made supervisor, I said, it'll be a couple of years before I get superintendent. And then within 6 months, I was superintendent. And I'm learning on the job. So I'm trying to learn everything as quick as possible, but there's still stuff I don't know. And I try and work it out as best I can.
And you're happy enough to ask the question if you don't know.
Sometimes.
But you can always figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be amazing what Google will do for you.
Yeah, your ChatGPT your way through.
I have ChatGPT. Mate, a couple of emails I've sent have been through ChatGPT before I sent them.
It's a useful tool. It's amazing how good it is now and how.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So I don't sound like an idiot when I'm sending emails.
Well, it can edit on the go, but even like its ability to refine the searches you actually put in and actually give you data or information that is the most relevant.
I put a resume through it and it tidied it up for me.
Yeah, really, like, good job you didn't make too many edits the first time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously, sometimes you got to change the wording.
Yes.
Because sometimes it gets a bit too fancy for what I'm trying to say. You know, I'll go, I don't think I'd ever say that, Mr. ChatGPT. Yeah. But I like the rest of it. Might just change a bit of this wording.
That's funny. Like, there's no excuse not to have a good resume now because you can literally put anything through ChatGPT.
You can put everything through.
And then it's just say, hey, make this a good resume.
Yeah. And then you can even go, when it spits you one out, you go, make it better. Spit you out again, make it better.
And that's another aptitude test. If the resume isn't at least decent, you know they haven't realised they can just put it through ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Beating their problem solving skills probably not that good.
But some people just are not good with computers.
At age thing, sure, in your industry it's a little bit different where like there might be people slightly older.
We even get like 20, 21-year-olds that don't know how to use a computer.
They know how to use a laptop, like an iPad at least. Like surely that pure iPad.
You'd be surprised. Like you get some people, I'm like, how have you survived this long and you don't know how to use a computer?
Mustn't be Brisbane. I feel like every Brisbane-based school has like some kind of laptop program. Like
even like when I went through school, I was probably one of the last years that didn't actually really use computers that much.
Oh, you didn't get a laptop in?
No.
I guess grade 10, 11, 12 is the only time we really got it.
So I was already in grade 12 when you would have got your first laptop. So
that's amazing how quickly that's been.
Oh, now
like that's such a quick change.
I don't think I could do it. I still like a bit pen and paper.
Yeah, I like to write. I don't mind writing out things.
Like I've been looking at those Remarkable. Have you seen those little? It's like
sounds very familiar.
It's sort of like a Kindle, but it's for like writing on instead.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Well, then I saw the price and I was like, no, I'm good.
How much up?
$700. I was like, yeah, look, I'll just go buy a $5 book and a $2 pen.
Notepads over there.
Yeah, so I mean, the good thing about them is you can like save them and then you call or whatever you want and then come back and look at your notes. Oh yeah, that's what I wrote down there. But
have you tried one? Like
no, I've just seen a few people around site using them. No, it's fine. I got a notebook. I go through a couple of notebooks.
It's amazing how good the technology. I wonder if it must feel like writing on a piece of paper.
I think that's the selling point, that it feels a lot more like writing on paper. I don't know. I was never a big stylus guy.
Yeah, no, I'd never.
I still hate trying to do my signature on the computer.
Yeah.
Trying to work around with the mouse how to do the signature. I'm like, this is...
That's good. Hey, look, a lot of them now, like you get an Amazon delivery or something like that, they'll get you to sign on DHL, little finger sign on it. That's easier, but the mouse is like, come on, mouse is cooked.
Oh, it is.
How do they accept? Like they just accept anything. You can literally do a line and no one will care. I don't get the point of it. Is it like, it's close enough to see what they're trying to do, or are just ticking a box? Like,
I think it's more of ticking a box nowadays. Because they've already done, like when you go pick up a parcel or something, they check your ID. They make sure it's you. Yeah. But if you give them a good story, it doesn't matter anyway.
What's the point of a signature anymore, though? Like, what is the point? Just initial everything. Like,
No, prove it in court.
if it ever gets to that, it's just a worst case scenario. You just anticipate.
Everything's a worst case scenario.
It's just covering
Just like
my
safety on these sites is for a worst case scenario. Everyone's got to cover their ass. Everything's about ass covering these days.
Yeah. Well, on a mining side, I accept that.
I'm sure there's ass covering in every job.
Yeah. Like anywhere where there's potential for shit to go down.
Or just potential for something to go wrong,
Yeah.
which is every job now.
Yeah.
And who really reads their employment contract?
Virtually nobody.
Yeah, who reads any? How many times you go on a website and just click, yep, I accept.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a lawyer or work in HR to actually read one of those things just because you have to.
And then when they come to you and go, well, you signed to say that you wouldn't do this and you're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Why didn't you remind me?
Yeah. Oh, shit, I probably should have read that when I started.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll get sacked for coming on a podcast. Who knows?
Really?
Maybe that's written into it.
You can't do any public.
I don't know.
I'll give you the time to check out before I release it.
No, don't worry about it. I'm not too concerned.
I'm not sure, like, why would they have a no public speaking? You can't post anything on social media. You can't do a story on
Well,
Instagram.
actually, they do say you can't post on social media.
But that's on site, I would imagine.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
actual things.
Because it's more IP, intellectual property.
Yeah, well, you might be giving away some secret.
Yeah, I'm not on here giving away trade secrets.
No.
Or am I? No.
Oh no, they make them sign stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
What a secret.
Yeah, no, there's no trade secrets.
Yeah.
Or IP I'm giving away.
No, I wouldn't ask.
I wouldn't have any IP to give away anyway.
Yeah.
I just tell people what to do every day.
Yeah, so the people managing side, do you get much into that? Like, is there much like
Yeah. I
work
have a crew that works for me. I try and stay ahead of them. Try and make sure they're doing the right thing. If they have any questions, answer their questions. It's good. It's good. And teaching people, like, sometimes people aren't going to know. You got to teach them how to do it.
Yeah, you patient when the
Yeah. You got to be. You got to be. Like, there's some people that new to it. I was new to mining at one stage. We're all at different levels, and sometimes I have people working for me that know more than I do. I go, oh shit, here we go.
are you open to that? Are you like, tell me about this? Yeah,
no, I'll take on anyone's. If someone knows a better way to do something, I have no problem listening to that.
Yeah,
It's not my way or the highway. Until it is, Sometimes it has to be.
there has to be someone sometimes just making the decision. Yes.
Well, when it comes to the safety side, no, we're going to do it this way because it's the safest way to do it. Do I listen to my own advice? Sometimes no. But, for them, because I'm in charge of them. If I get myself killed, that's my problem.
A few people will be, but yeah, the team comes first.
Yeah.
It's like a Jocko mentality. Like,
Yeah, I've got to make sure.
Last, all that kind of.
Yeah, I've got to make sure they're looked after before I look after myself. And that's what I try to do.
Have you listened to him talking about leadership and stuff and taken any of that on board, or not so much? Because he does have a lot out there, right?
He does. When I was in Jocko, I'm more into when he's going over a book or interviewing an ex-military guy. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Like those first sock guys he had on, loved them.
SOC? Explain what SOC is.
SOC.
Special
like
Operations.
Yeah, Special Operations. Special Operations Command. The guys in Vietnam that would go into Laos and Cambodia, and it'd be like a team of 10 taking on 10,000 North Vietnamese soldiers. That stuff, I love that stuff. They'd be calling in airstrikes. They'd be surrounding. Somehow this guy made it out.
Because you're very interested in military.
Oh, I love
military history. Why? What do you think it is about it that you like so much?
I think it's a group of guys coming together that from all walks of life with one common goal, and that's to look after each other. I love that stuff. Like
the brotherhood, the like bond.
Yeah, the brotherhood. And then you hear these guys talk about it afterwards, and they love those guys. Didn't know them from bar or soap when they first met, and at the end they loved each other and were willing to put their lives on the line for each other. Like those Medal of Honor recipients, where they jump on a grenade to save. They're the only person who saw it come over, they jumped on it to save the other 10 blokes around them.
Yeah. Like true heroes.
Yeah.
True selflessness.
Yeah. You might not understand the wars. You might be fighting and not understanding it. But hey, these guys are over there and they're looking out for each other.
Yeah, in those moments, the most important thing is making sure their team is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love listening to those ex-military guys talking about the same kind of thing where it's just like you said, it's their
esprit de corps.
Yeah. It's about the team.
Yeah.
And there's no more intense teamwork than that because the consequences are so dire.
If you don't do your job, the other guy is probably going to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to join the military. So
I tried twice. Yeah. I probably went about it the wrong way. Probably shouldn't have tried to go for an officer role. You know, I'm not exactly university educated.
Is that what they look for that?
That is what they look for.
More favourable, at least.
Yeah. And, you know, probably when I first tried, I was, 20? I was probably a bit too green to be going in for an officer role. And because I didn't have a university background and wasn't going to go to university through them, I was too young and too naive. Yeah, that's probably the right word. Too naive. And they saw right through me. I didn't even make it past the first interview. And then in that first interview, he said to me, if you come back, or even if you just go for general entry, not an officer role, just a general soldier, you'd get in. Your marks on the sheet, because you do an aptitude test to go in, your marks on the sheet are more than enough to go do any general entry job. Mm. And after that first interview, I called Dad and said, I might just join him as an electrician. He said, no, don't do that. I'll get you an apprenticeship. That was probably a crossroads in my life. If I'd gone through them and tried to do the apprenticeship, maybe I would have joined. Then I tried again after that first bout of COVID. When I spent those couple of months at home, I tried to join again. But yeah, I probably should have just gone general entry instead of going for an officer role.
So when you tried to join again, it was an officer role again?
Yeah. And I just, probably wasn't what they were looking for. And I got turned away at the interview. I made it past that first interview this time. It was a second interview where you actually sitting there with members of the board where I just wasn't right. Probably still a bit too naive about the world. Like, I don't really care about world events or current events.
So would they ask about conflicts going on, or was it just about...
Well, one of the questions they asked me was, should Australia stay in the Commonwealth? I couldn't tell you the first thing about whether Australia should stay in the Commonwealth.
Response for that, yeah.
Like, my response, I think, was, because they wanted to hear both sides of the argument.
They did? They didn't want to hear yes? Yeah. Well, yeah, we should.
I was like, yes, because it's going to cost a lot of money to leave. No, because we're an independent nation, but yeah.
Oh, they wanted to see if you...
They probably wanted a bit more. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I've never even thought of this once.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Well, I don't even know what benefit we get. We go to the Commonwealth Games every 4 years. I don't know.
They realise if something goes wrong, we're pretty okay.
Yeah. We've got America, and they're not in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then so that's why I held off for that month, and then went to mining. Now I think it's a bit past me. Plus, I got a call. I'd already, failed the interview. I got a call saying they won't let me in because of my knee.
Oh, so you wouldn't have, regardless, you wouldn't have got a knee.
Look, they wouldn't let me in if I didn't go get another knee surgery.
Oh, so there was a route.
Yeah,
you could have got a surgery
because my kneecap was around the side of my leg. They screwed it back in place, but since then the screws have snapped, and the doctor working for him didn't like the fact that the screws had snapped, so he wanted me to get the screws pulled out. But
what is it? Just long term? I think it's that.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought about actually doing something about it at some point then, or
not really? It doesn't affect me now.
Well, will it?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out
at some point. I'm sure you got to think about it because
I'll be honest. I haven't even thought about this knee probably since that interview.
Yeah. Well, if I can respark something because it sounds like the screws have snapped and it's no longer doing what it should be doing.
Yeah.
Or it probably is doing it well enough, but. You're still a young man.
I'd say it's all grown back, all the cartilage and all the
has grown around
tendons have
it.
grown around it. Yeah.
So it was the screws, they were meant to be in there to facilitate it growing back into place?
Yeah, it was to hold it in place while it was recovering.
Yeah. How long ago was this second interview? It still years ago now, so now it would look a little bit different.
That was 4 years, like a month before I started doing FIFO work.
Oh, yeah. Ages
Sorry, a month before I started doing mining.
Yeah.
So, but I get no trouble from my knee. I get no trouble from any of my surgeries, really.
Yeah, so it probably has healed back in a reasonable enough manner where it's not a problem.
Yeah, that probably helps that I lost 50 kilos as well.
Yeah.
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 I was a heavier boy back when I injured that knee. So,
what are the big differences you've noticed since losing the weight? Like, is it just more of a lightness to walking around? Things feel easier?
I mean, if I walked around now, then holding 50 kilos wouldn't be ideal.
Yeah, but is it like a feeling, a noticeable feeling, a difference of feeling?
I want to say yes, but not really.
Yeah, because you get used to it, right? It's just what's normal.
I was the fittest 150 kilo guy you ever saw. You know, I'd still go play soccer, play volleyball, play basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd fucking gas out after 5 minutes, but
you could move around.
I still did it. I was pretty fit for a 150 kilo guy.
Yeah.
If anything, I might have been more fit then than I am now, probably.
Probably not, but yeah.
Nah, that's all right. Look, as soon as you put competition in front of me, I'll fucking...
Yeah, you're competitive.
Yeah, still am.
Yeah.
So I am. I played some volleyball recently and was still getting angry at myself for making mistakes. But look, we were playing layup games and we won every game. Didn't drop a set. But yeah, even when I'd make mistakes, I still get angry.
Yeah. Why do you think you get so angry when you make a mistake?
I hate losing.
It's the losing.
Yeah.
You hate being the cause of the loss. Do you reckon that's why you get angry yourself? Yeah.
That's why I'm better at individual sports and team sports.
Because you can just blame yourself.
Yeah, there's only one person to blame. But hey, when you grow up 150 kilos, you lose a lot playing sports. You lose a lot. Now I'm at least competitive. I'd like to win a bit more.
Yeah, making up for lost time.
Yeah, that's it. Do
you think it put a useful chip on your shoulder then?
Yeah, there probably is a chip on my shoulder to try and be the best at everything. Because I try and be the best at everything.
And you think it was from that, just from like early years, you weren't competitive or you were
competing against you all the years. I always lose to you.
Well, yeah, with sport and football.
Yeah. No, it wasn't just that. It was video games as well.
Well, this is part of the thing where I perhaps just out-obsessed you with video games. I was a chronic user of them. Like, I never got off them.
Yeah, I remember back in the FIFA days, I used to smash everybody except you. No one could beat me except for you. It's
usually a bigger brother's role is to be the one who wins.
Yeah, I know. It was doing my head in.
Yeah, no, we did have to. I think we stopped playing FIFA against each other after a while. Or it became very rare when we would play because, I mean, yeah.
I'd win all those I'd win all the tournaments against my friends. But then Dino would play and I'd fucking lose again.
And I had no let up in me. Like, there was no way I was ever going to...
Yeah, but I was the same with my friends.
Pull back.
I'd play as Brisbane War against Barcelona and win.
Yeah. Then I'd do it to you and you get...
Yeah, and then I'd fucking lose it.
Yeah. Well, it's probably competitiveness. Like, I mean...
Oh, but I would have hated it if you went soft on me.
100%.
I would have fucking... I don't know, you didn't even try then.
There's nothing worse than pity.
Yeah, no. And that's why I don't do it to people now. I go, I'm not gonna look. I'll do dumb shit against them. Like I play my soon-to-be brother-in-law in FIFA, and he doesn't really play FIFA. So I'll fucking get 2 goals up and then start running full field with the goalkeeper, trying to score a goal with the goalkeeper. Then he'll score a couple back and go, "Oh, it was a close game." I go, "Yeah, it was real close." Yeah. Yeah.
You have a little bit of fun with it, but you still, you still make sure you win in the end.
Of course. I've still got to win. I'm never going to let him win.
Well, he's not going to get any better if you do that,
Yeah, that's it. That's my theory. That's my theory. If we're playing, I told Michaela when we first started dating, if you beat me, you beat me. I didn't let you win because I hate losing, so I'm never going to lose at anything.
There's an honesty to that. There's something, it's more real, especially with other guys.
Mm.
Like, pulling back.
Yeah. Don't pull your punches.
If they know you're better than them, and then you don't beat them the way you should, I don't think, like, from my perspective as a person who gets beat, I would hate that.
Yeah.
Like, if you know they have the ability to play better, and pulling up, like, easing up a little bit, that's fine, but, like, letting you win,
Yeah.
there's
And
nothing more
everyone,
demoralizing.
everyone has their off days.
Yeah.
And you might practice more than I practice. But, yeah. Nah, you never go easy on people.
No, I think it's demoralizing.
Yeah.
I think if you know that they should beat you and then they don't
Oh, yeah.
because they're pitying you, like, my God, there's no worse feeling. I think you can't pull back. I don't think it does them any good.
No, it doesn't. You're never going to learn.
Yeah.
And you can give people layups, but no.
A little bit different with kids.
Well,
Like, kids, you want to encourage them to keep playing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you keep beating them all the time.
I don't have any kids yet. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when I do.
I still don't think I've ever lost a race against the other one.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Oh, you can't, yeah, because they know. They'll know.
No,
you don't want to be unrealistic. Yeah.
When they're old enough to know, then you never let them win.
Yeah, you can't.
And then the day they beat you, you never play with them again.
That's it.
Because you still got to be the big dog in the
You've
house.
taken over.
They've still got to respect you.
Well, that's with the if you have the son. If you have the son, and then when he finally beats you, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I don't run this house anymore. I've got a huge competitor.
That's it. You tell them he got lucky and then never play him again.
Well, my back's a little bit off. You know,
Yeah.
I've been working pretty hard for this family. So.
Think those lights just turn themselves on?
Yeah. One day you'll understand. Yeah, you understand, but you didn't win that one easy. Ugh. Yeah, no, it is. It is funny, but yeah, I don't like pity. Like, you never want to feel pity.
No. But I won't play 10-pin bowling anymore.
That was you crushed me in 10-pin bowling. That was your sport.
Yeah, but now I don't play. I get too angry because I'm not as good as I used to be.
Yeah, you've got the memories of the 200 days or whatever.
Yeah. And now I'll play on a rare occasion, but I just get too angry playing.
Do you still take your ball? You don't have your balls anymore?
I still have them.
Yeah.
I still have them. I'll take them sometimes. It depends. It depends who we're going with or where we're going. Like if we're on a strike or something, one of those ones where you can drink and play and it's in the dark, and I won't take them. But if we go to like an AMF, I don't even know if they're called AMF anymore, but
I think it's Zone.
yeah,
I have Zone in my head.
Yeah, if I go to one of them, I might take it with me.
Yeah.
And depending who we're playing against as well, if it's a fun couples night out, I probably won't take it.
Yeah, you're not going to go up there and just crush everyone.
Maybe I should. Show them who the big dog is.
Hey, boys. Yeah. Hey, fella, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You're still good? You're still better than most people who play?
Oh, I'm still better than most
You didn't
people.
lose it? Yeah. I just wonder if that's one of those atrophying skills.
Oh,
Like,
it is. I'm nowhere near as good as I
Yeah,
was at my peak, but
Like, generally speaking, you're getting closer.
I still know the motion.
Yeah.
When I can perfect the motion, it still looks good, but that's just a rarity now.
Yeah.
Oh, probably haven't played in like 2 years.
Yeah. And I'm sparking it up in you again.
And maybe I'll have to take we're looking after Jack and Michael tomorrow. Might have to take them. Just show them who the big dog is.
Did you ever end up getting into golf? I know you were talking
I
about
never
golf.
gone to golf, no.
That's sensible.
I do occasionally watch people on TikTok or YouTube play golf.
Did you watch the equivalent of Drive to Survive for golf on Netflix?
No, I did not know. I wouldn't know any. Oh, I mean, if I did, I might get into
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying. That's one that, I mean, I feel like everyone gets into at least once in their life.
Yeah,
Every young man
maybe.
gets into golf.
I reckon it's a good thing for the trades to be into golf.
It's like, it seems like all of them play it. Like
Yeah.
every FIFO worker plays some kind of golf.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them play golf. I'm the rarity that doesn't play golf.
Why have you not done it then? Why have you not got into it?
I
You've
don't
been
know.
talking about it. It's just,
I know, but it's just
it's time consuming. You need
time
hours.
consuming.
And even if you want to get good, you got to practice too.
Yeah,
It's no.
it looks boring. Whacking a ball.
Oh no! Have you? Oh, I know you've done it a couple of times, but when you hit it nice, there are a few feelings in sport that match it. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just needed one clean contact when you played last, and you would have known. But
I like more intense sports. Like I still play tennis now and again.
But golf's one where you beat yourself up the most because like you're the only one to blame for every single shot. It's no one else's fault.
Yeah, but so is tennis.
Yeah, the tennis you're versing someone else.
Which
Golf, every hit you're just hitting yourself.
Which is great. I like versing other people.
Yeah, you want to beat someone. Well, you're still beating them, but
Yeah, but it's different.
you're not going to beat them if you have no experience and they've played a little bit.
And I've played golf, and I get bored after like the third hole.
Really?
Yeah.
You need a good golf partner. You need to have good chats or something. I don't know.
No, we did. We were having good chats, but I was just bored of hitting the ball.
It's like, oh, it's motions a little bit.
Mind you, you can get into things. Like I never thought I'd get into cricket, and when I was working in South Australia, because everyone else was into cricket,
You got
I
it.
started learning about
the
cricket.
cricket fan. Wow.
I started learning about cricket. Yeah, and then I watched the Ashes.
You still watch it now?
Not really,
Yeah.
because I'm not with those guys anymore. But when I was with them, I got in trouble for watching the Ashes one night.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh,
As
I'm
you
just gonna watch.
should.
I'm just gonna watch a bit of the cricket. What? Why are you watching cricket? Just
We were never a cricket family. We played like, I remember playing 1 year at school.
yeah. I did play 1 year at school as well.
It was just like, okay, this is funny-ish.
Yeah. But volleyball was on. Then we got into volleyball.
Yeah, volleyball we played a bit.
Volleyball is a lot better than cricket.
I think so. Well, again, it's more intense. It's more of
Yeah.
an intensity sport.
Yeah.
Like we like the faster paced.
Standing in a field, fucking waiting for a ball to come your way.
Yeah, it's
That
very
might never come your way.
very patient sport, cricket. It's
Yeah.
like
I don't know if you've noticed. I have zero patience.
except with your team, that's good. You have as a leader, you have patience. In a
Yeah.
work setting, you have patience. When it comes to competitive sports, less
Oh,
patience.
sports, zero patience. Driving, zero patience. Oh,
Driving, zero patience is rough.
traffic. It's a bane of my existence.
Well, you're probably all right where you are.
Oh.
Out of the sites. Do you even drive? You obviously don't drive. You get shuttled places.
No, you drive underground.
Oh, like yeah, you're on site. Yeah. But
Yeah.
like to and from. I
To
guess
and
it's all,
from.
it's all on site, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you drive underground. That'll get you going. You're only going 30 k's an hour, but it is because the walls. You're just going through walls.
Yeah.
And you're going through blind corners everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, everywhere's a blind corner.
So that's why you got 30k everywhere. You just
30k and keep an eye out for headlights. And if there's something big coming towards you, you punch in reverse. It's got my manual driving a lot better. Punch in reverse and fucking get out of his way.
how deep are these going? Like how long are these?
The one
going?
we're doing at the moment is a kilometre deep. So you're a kilometre under the ground.
And when you're driving, like how long's the route to drive down there?
On a good day, 20, 30 minutes.
So 20, 30 minutes on this like intensive 30k an hour drive of like
Yeah.
full alertness, just
Yeah.
slowly going down there.
Yeah. It's like rally car driving. So you maxed out at 30 k's an
Yeah.
hour. But it's good. It's a bit of excitement in your day.
Yeah, because it sounds intense.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's like,
It's a good thing to experience going underground because before you go down, you have no idea what it looks like down there. You don't realize that there's these massive structures underground and just a kilometre under the ground surface.
yeah.
We look up at dead people.
Yeah.
No, he's 6 foot down. I'm a kilometre.
Is it hot?
It is, yeah. Yeah, they have to keep the ventilation up. So if you're in an area with good ventilation, you're looking at about 30 degrees.
Good ventilation is 30
Yeah.
degrees, yeah.
Shit ventilation, it can get up there.
Yeah.
So they use a scale wet bulb. I don't know how it works. It has something to do with the dew point in the air.
Okay.
And yeah, so
You can gauge the temperature.
the dry bulb is just a normal temperature. So that's anywhere from like 30 degrees up to 40 odd degrees. The wet bulb, if it gets over about 27, 28 degrees, it's no good to work there. So I think that takes into account humidity and stuff like that. I don't know exactly how it works, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's a standard probably 30 degrees the whole time, and that's in a good area.
Yeah. So
Oh.
hot, humid,
I'll take that over what I did on night shift in Orange. Getting down
freezing. Like how cold was it getting there?
0 degrees.
Ugh.
felt like -6
Yeah,
with the wind chill.
Basically snow.
Oh, it did start snowing. There was a big snowstorm the year I was there. I was talking to the locals going, how much snow do you reckon we're going to get? Like, they say there's snow coming. There's going to be fuck all snow coming. It might just trickle down a bit, but nothing's going to... Woke up, it was like a white Christmas. They're like, oh, yeah, this is a once in 20 year event.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, sweet. And I have to go to work in this day. Sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
You prefer the heat than the cold?
I'll take the heat over the cold any day of the week. I don't know. My body's weird. I can put on 9 layers. I'll still be cold. I get down to shirt, my pants, and my body just knows I can't take any more layers off and just like, all right, sweet, this is where it's sitting. And I just feel fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can never get warm enough when it's fucking cold.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite. Like I'm...
Yeah, but have you been to real cold recently?
No, not real cold, but...
Brisbane cold isn't real cold.
That's true. That's true. I did wear shorts in England when it was snowing, though.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's a pretty good gauge.
My legs don't get that cold either. Like I'd wear 9 layers up top, but I'd just be wearing my pants on the bottoms.
Yeah.
I would very rarely put thermal bottoms on.
Yeah.
I'd have a singlet, a t-shirt, my thermals, my work shirt, and like one of those 7-in-1 jackets, and maybe another sweater under that, and still be fucking cold.
Jesus, I don't think I've ever put on that many layers.
Oh, it's fucking cold. Fuck the cold.
But I guess you're also not like moving around very quickly. You're in stillish positions.
You're like the Michelin man.
Yeah. So like
it depends. There were good nights where we'd be pulling cables, hauling cables.
It's good.
You know, and that warmed you up.
Yeah.
But then you go have your half an hour break and come back and you'd be freezing again and have to start the process all over again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it was good. Hey, look, I enjoy it all. I enjoyed those nights pulling cables in the cold with the boys, having a good time.
Yeah, do you find that you bond with those guys?
Oh, you spend more time with them than you do with your own family.
Yeah, that's true. Like most work through, but even more so because it's such intense conditions that you're working.
Well, you spend
and you're hanging out with them outside of work too because they are.
You spend 2/3 of your year with those people.
Yeah,
and if you're on their swing for 2/3 of the year, you are seeing them every day.
Have you made really good friends?
Yeah, I made good friends.
Keep in contact with.
Yeah. I'll call guys who are at different sites and see how they're going and stuff like that. Maybe not as much as I should, but yeah.
I think it's a generational thing. I feel like for whatever, we don't pick up the phone as much. If you're like me, like...
Yeah, but if you text me, you're in trouble.
You getting a call back or you just text
No, if they don't call me, they probably won't hear back from me.
Oh, shit, I'm the same. I feel there's a lot of genetic... genetic things in us. I will just forget about the text that's been sent to me too. Or it's just gets pushed
I get in
back
trouble
far
all
enough.
the time for not responding to texts.
Yeah.
Oh, I texted Mikey, but he never responded.
Yeah.
Did you call him? No. I texted him. Well, he's probably not going to... I don't have time to sit there and send a text all day, every day.
Yeah. There's something like, if in the moment I can't respond to you then, it's probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe we're assholes, but I feel like...
I get in touch. but you read everything, and when I need to respond, I'll respond, but I don't need to respond to everything.
For whatever reason, there's something that's taking my attention more than
I get in so much trouble with my wife's family and not responding to their group messages.
I get trouble with our family for not responding.
I don't either, but
I get blown up by mum every now and then. Like, why do I even bother? It's like, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm doing something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
you'll be fine.
I better excuse I'm not here most of the time.
Yeah, it's true.
But you get used to missing things.
Yeah,
it's part of life.
Yeah, a lot of people, like, if you were in the military, so there'd be plenty of times where you'd be missing a lot of things. I'd be gone
even more and wouldn't be able to work my swings around and come back.
Yeah.
You'd be, 6-12-month deployments? Then I'll let you come back for a birthday or a christening or a wedding.
Yeah, more at the mercy of whatever's going on in the world too. Yeah, so you don't mind. You already set yourself up more thinking that that's going to be a part of it anyway. Mm. There's a lot of people who work like that. Where
it's like I'm the only one in the world. There's guys all around me, and the people I'm with, they're missing shit too.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'll try and move stuff around to be there for important things, but sometimes it's just not going to work out.
Yeah, the job is important.
Yeah.
The job has to be done, and
Yeah.
you're the person who has to be
And
there
there's
for it.
big money going around to do it.
That's the responsibility of tough jobs,
Yeah.
real jobs.
Yeah. But hey, AI is not going to take my job. Someone's got to wire the cunt in.
Yeah. So you're the one to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think my job's going to AI anytime soon.
No.
So I'll be fine.
Well, this is one of the things. Trade, skilled work. These are like things that you need people to do. There are some pretty cool machines that can do some of it, but not.
Yeah. Yeah, but are you going to get a machine to crawl through your roof and
No.
wire in some
Not
fans?
anytime soon.
No.
Not anytime soon.
I think I'll be fine till I kick the bucket.
Yeah. It's getting pretty good pretty quick. I don't know about that. Nah.
Oh,
I'm not one of these people who's overly worried about it taking everything. Like,
I don't think it'll really affect our generation. Maybe some of the uni degree jobs, maybe.
yeah, things that are just input or data entry related, or things that can
But anything that's a real skill, like
hands-on skill.
if even being a doctor, are you going to trust the robot to do the life-saving surgery on you, or do you want a man who's has done 50,000 of these before?
They've got some robots that do it where it's still manned by a surgeon though.
Yeah.
Still the surgeon who's guiding it. But he does a keyhole surgery through this super precise machine.
Maybe man-made things are going to go up in price.
It's going to become more valuable because
More valuable because it was done by a man.
Well, one of the things...
a person.
A person, yeah. Human being.
Human being.
Well, one of the things that we're not going to be able to trust with AI because it's getting very good at image generation and video generation and
have you
voice
seen these Yeti videos and the big...
Andy was showing me the other day. They're outrageous.
They're so good.
They're so
so good.
It's the other one I've seen. I think it's Bigfoot on the Titanic and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's funny, but
it's so good. You can tell it's fake.
But only just.
Yeah,
it's not that far off.
It's pretty good.
You feel like it's only a matter of time before that's going to be indistinguishable from like real cinema. But like knowing what to actually trust and what you see, it's going to be like you're going to have the gatekeepers, the people with verified accounts, or the people who you know.
Yeah, but even now you can buy your verified accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, so any new verified account after the point where they're good enough is essentially potentially fraudulent.
Yeah, and how do you know? How are you going to tell that it's pre-fraudulent? Yeah. Yeah.
It has to have already been released.
Yeah, like they're putting out interviews with people where they're saying, like, where Joe Rogan's talking to some random person from history.
Yeah.
And they reckon they're not too bad, but... Yeah.
I know that they've got them, like, doing fake ad reads and stuff. There's a bunch of that
I've heard them.
On.
Yeah, you see them all the time online. Elon Musk is giving this away to the first 10,000 people.
So outrageous.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? Is he? Oh, wow. Elon Musk.
Hey, and people will fall for it.
People just click on it.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But it's a very useful tool, but it's very interesting. I'm worried about in being able to discern what people are actually saying, because there's going to be so much shit out there. Like, you think there's a lot of content on the internet already. Imagine how much is going to come.
Especially when just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Especially,
like a lot of content on the internet.
Yeah,
not going to know what to trust.
Yeah, and it's just getting better and better.
Yeah,
so.
Like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Like, those videos are hilarious, and you get them to say and do things that people wouldn't do because they'd feel embarrassed, but you'll just have to somehow authenticate it.
Yeah. How?
I don't know.
No. IDs and everything, and then people are going to want to do that. It's going to be crazy. But it's funny, you get these random ads of these random AI chatbots trying to get you to sign up to, like...
Even your chest robots are getting good.
Which ones? The
What
physical one? Because they're actual ones that actually play in the
no, these are online.
Those bots. Yeah.
I was watching Gotham Chess. He was putting two bots against each other.
Yeah. So they've got these engines that they're already way better than the best players in the world. They're like far superior.
Yeah.
In terms of just their rating, in terms of how well they play. But in stuff like that, I am hopeful because I think people still want to watch a person versus a person. I think sport, anything like that.
Yeah, sports probably going to become more valuable.
It's always going to be people wanting to watch people versus people at some level.
When does it become like gladiators? Sport is just our only outlet.
Yeah.
People versus people.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't get to the violence of that.
Oh, I mean, the UFC's not far off.
It's a bit far. It's a bit bare knuckle boxing though. That's not far. That's closer.
They just have a referee to stop you from killing him.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to kill him.
But have you seen bare knuckle?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
I haven't watched it, but you see some of the aftermath of the pictures. And it's disturbing. Like their faces are just cut up, like bare knuckles.
Yeah, because you don't have that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Stopping you.
It's amazing the difference that makes. Like the knuckles being exposed.
Yeah.
And you can like looking at it like, okay, that would be quite sharp cutting.
Yeah.
But it's
and you wouldn't want to
disturbing.
Yeah, no thanks.
Not for us. We were never fighters.
Still never gonna fight in my life.
Yeah. It's fairly trait. Yeah. I can't think of it. I would always look at people getting into fights when we're playing football, like someone would start a fight and I would just shake my head and like either pull people off or walk away and like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
You were at a Greek soccer club. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always some
There's
kind
some
of
intense blokes.
I remember as the coach, the team got into a fight, our cousin's team, I'm doing it. And I was just like so like
what are you guys doing?
You guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Like I was pulling people away or just like shaking my head like
yeah, but all that's going to come out of a
Christ.
Fight in a sports game is you're going to get sent off.
Yeah, well, or you do something stupid and it goes further than that.
Yeah,
and
that's it. Oh, yeah, you just got banned for a year for knocking that guy out.
Yeah, it's good like you feel like it's an outlet. That's the outlet to like let off some steam or something, but it's so silly.
Yeah, well. Boys gonna be boys, you know what I'm saying?
Well, in this regard, they were. It's just funny. I think what disturbed me about that moment is like they were gloating about like getting a shot in on the guys and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
It was a big thing back when I used to play rugby.
Yeah,
they'd get a shot in on you in one of the scrums or the rucks.
Yeah,
but in soccer.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why are they getting into fights?
Yeah.
Why are they getting into a fight?
You're getting a bit nippy. Yeah, you're like in each other's face in a scrum.
Yeah.
You're in each other's shit. Like
and they'd get a strike in here or there.
What are they doing? They're like stomping on you? They're hitting you? Just giving you a little punch in the rib?
Yeah. Bit of everything. Yeah. But, it's a contact sport.
Yeah. That's just a little bit of toughness.
You're tackling these guys. Right against big Kiwi boys. I might have been 130 kilos, but they were a bit bigger than me and
a bit more solid. Solid 130. Something about them was just.
And they'd knock you over. It would hurt. But hey, when I did that knee, that was the last time I ever played rugby.
Yeah. Good reason. Good reason. Because, knee on the side.
Yeah, no.
Stapled in. You were crutches for a while.
Yeah. Walked into the hospital. They said, how'd you walk in here? I said, painfully. They said, your kneecaps around the side of your leg. No, my leg was that swollen. I couldn't see it. Oh, well, these things happen.
Well, it's the toughness of rugby. You walk it off.
Walk
it off. I'm not walking it off.
The problem is I couldn't get up.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah.
Well, yours is in training too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't even in the game.
Got grass cut. But no, probably if I was 30 kilos lighter, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I'm sure. A little bit less pressure on the knee. Yeah, these things are tough. All right, well, anything we haven't covered, Mikey, you want to talk about? Because
no, nothing off the top of my head.
Look, I appreciate you coming on. Good chat. It's interesting the F.I.F.O work because I don't think we've ever properly sat down and just you've talked me through.
You nearly joined once upon a time.
Yeah, there was a period. It was probably right around COVID. Was it right before? I was seriously considering.
I know you
It
were.
was right before I started working where I
I think they were going to bring you out to
but
one of the solar
It's
farms.
very close.
I mean, mate, with your forklift ticket.
Now the forklift
We'll get you out there.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, but the timing is bad with the children.
Yeah.
Going from being here to not being here.
Yeah, when I was some
great.
children, I might have some tough discussions to have.
Yeah. Look, I don't think F.I.F.O is for me. Podcast on the go though, that might work. But no, that was it COVID? Was it right after or right before?
It might have been right. Oh, it might have been
It
right
was even
before.
might have been right in it. Because it was right before I started working where I am now.
Yeah, I think it was on one of the solar farms. So if it was Wellington, it would have been right towards the end.
I probably would have done it if I didn't get the job I have now. I think I was almost certainly going to do it. I was looking for something.
I mean, you can get out there. You don't need to have a trade. You can get out there with just a ticket.
TA
Like you got a
or
forklift ticket, not the best, but you go get a telehandler ticket. Done. You're out there as an operator.
3-day thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's less than a forklift ticket, which is wild.
I don't even know what a teleoperator is.
You know those? It's like a forklift, but it's got that boom on the front with the forks, and it comes up and shoots out.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's like extendable forklift essentially.
Yeah.
What do they need them for? I guess using every kind
They're a
of
lot better than forklifts because
a lot more.
the booming out part is the
Yeah,
good part. Because a forklift, you can't get into everywhere.
No,
You can only get into an area that's going to fit the forklift.
the mast at least has to be pushed out. Yeah.
Whereas this, you can telescope it out and drop it, 5 meters in front of you.
Yeah. I think at times I'll have a use for where I'm at now. Get a telehandler. What's it called? Telehandler.
Telehandler. Most people refer to them as a Manitou, but that's just a brand.
Manitou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, or a Frana ticket, which is those cranes that you see driving on the road.
No, yeah.
Frana tickets, they're good to have. Yeah, you can.
So people see to get ticket like
Yeah,
you have a couple of tickets. You
pay
can
a few $100s for a ticket, and you can go out there. You can even go out as a spotter. Like you go get your high risk work license for EWPs.
Mm-hmm.
People are out there. That's the only ticket they've got.
They're just standing there, making sure people don't.
Yeah, and if you're not spotting today, you're just being a TA. So
The trade assistant.
Yeah.
They're just doing the
just assisting.
work.
Yeah. You are doing the shitty work.
Yeah, you dig in the trenches. You're doing all the.
Yeah, not a lot of trench digging underground, but
No, it's pretty far. It's down and off.
yeah, but you're pretty much the tradesman's bitch.
Yes. A humbling experience, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I was a glorified TA for that first 2 weeks at Acadia.
But you had a progression after the TA doesn't have a progression path.
Oh,
I'm sure
look,
the
a lot of
money's
them get into it trying to get an apprenticeship
Yeah, right.
because
They'll progress
you got to
through.
start somewhere. But there's a lot of nepotism out there. A lot of nepotism.
Yeah, parents. And,
As long as if you know someone, you're laughing. If you don't know someone, it's a harder road.
that's true in almost every regard.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like I had a mate of mine, Stegs, on this podcast last episode, and he was talking about even in football.
Yeah, I did
Like,
hear this.
Yeah, it's like if you got a dad to get you there, even for him, like his family or
Yeah,
contacts,
knew
knowing someone
yeah.
getting him into the programs over there.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of it is connections.
yeah.
And it's almost every industry. It's
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
help.
some people get in off their merit, but
a lot, and there are certain jobs.
there's a lot of drop kicks out there that know someone. There's a lot of drop kicks that don't know anyone.
Yeah.
You get found out pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get rid of the drop kicks that know someone.
Yeah, because someone they know is not a dropkick, perhaps.
Yeah, depending
They're
how high
actually
up that
doing
person is, you might be in trouble trying to get rid of them.
Yeah. It's almost like these things that they're not present in, like, if you're a doctor, because there's so much stuff.
Oh,
It's like-
yeah, but
But, like, in almost anything else,
but
anything that's not that kind of clinical thing.
yeah. I'm talking about
grandfather.
unskilled labour and stuff
yeah.
like that. But even then,
You get
you know,
good
it's not that hard to get through an apprenticeship. They say it's hard. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I feel like it's got a very laid out path. Like you just have to show up every day,
Yeah,
and you have to do enough of the study and TAFE, and you have to be a little bit switched on, but no more than any other kind of job that requires any kind of learning.
yeah, but you pass all your TAFE, you get an employer that'll sign you off. You could do 4 years of digging trenches, but you pass your TAFE and your employer is willing to sign you off. Yeah, there's e-profiling, a booklet you got to fill out online. But as long as your boss is willing to sign that piece of paper, you can say you did anything that week and they'll accept it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're checking up on it.
Yeah.
And then you get guys coming out with electrical licenses that don't know the first thing about electrical.
Yeah.
And then you get guys who come out knowing heaps, but no one will give them a chance because they haven't worked for the right companies, yeah? So...
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, they say it's merit-based, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you go to the right company on your resume or the right person on your resume to get the job.
Yeah, merit just means you have the right name there. You have the right company next to it, more so than the actual competence of the person.
Yeah. Or you've been in the right sector. Like there's 3 different sectors. There's domestic, commercial, industrial when it comes to electrical. And not a lot of mine was industrial. Mining's industrial. And they went, oh, you don't have a lot. I'll give you a go. But that's because I knew someone.
Yeah.
And then, 4 years later, I'm a superintendent.
Yeah.
Climbed up 3 job roles.
So getting in is knowing someone, but the actual working your way up is more so the...
Well, no. Now it's
merit.
After what happened at that job, it's not best for me to let people know I know that someone.
Yeah.
He didn't leave at the best terms. So, but yeah, now 4 years later, three jumps in the company. We're getting there.
Yeah. Good. Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks
for
having me.
It's good to have a chat. We don't sit down and talk enough, so this is good.
That's it. Hopefully this won't be my last appearance.
Happy to have you. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.